And on our smooth line right now, we have the man himself, Mr. Buff Dillard. Buff, how you doing, man?
Big corn. How you doing, brother?
Hey,
Everything
man.
is good.
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for stopping by the cafe tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Hey, man, we are happy to have you, man. It is our honor.
Well, the pleasure is all mine.
All right. So let's get into it, Buff. Let's start with that name, Buff. How did you get the name Buff?
Well, funny story, Mr. Big Corn. Back when I was born, my mother, before I was born, she was calling me Buffy. I was Buffy in the womb. It was a sitcom that she absolutely loved back in the 60s by the name of Family Affair.
Family Affair, yeah. Buffy and Jody, right?
Buffy, Jody.
See, now we're both telling our age now.
But she was a big fan of the show, and when I was born, surprised to come out a boy. Nevertheless, she kept the name Buffy, and my sisters. I'm the only boy out of 4 kids, and the oldest of the 4, and they kept Buffy. I don't know. They kept hearing my name. My mom called me that, so they just kept it. But when I got in my teens, young adult, it switched over to Buff. It's a sentimental name. It's
Okay.
Something your mom give you or call you.
Right.
You gotta cherish that for life.
Right. Okay, that's good stuff, man.
Decided to make it the stage name.
That's good stuff, man. All right. So Buff, you were born in Greenville, South Carolina. Is that right?
That's right. That is correct.
All right.
South Carolina.
And now you reside in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All
I'm
right.
located in the Charlotte area.
All right. So, Buff, I like to ask all my guests this. How old were you when you started playing the trombone?
I started playing the trombone at the age of 5. Now,
Wow.
Yeah. I was making noise, but I promise you, by 5 and a half, I had a good hand on the slide where it wouldn't slide all the way off the horn and hit somebody in the head or something like that.
In that same vein, the trombone is not an instrument that you would see, especially black kids, gravitate to. So how did you choose the trombone?
It was an instrument that was very popular in the church that my father pastored. And also my dad, my father's baby brother, my uncle Daniel Dillard, he was a trombonist. He's still a trombonist. He toured with Peabo Bryson his entire musical career. Won a lot of gold records, Grammys, and all that kind of good stuff. And it intrigued me. My father's a saxophonist. He was a saxophonist, but he neglected to teach me the saxophone. And I'm kind of glad he did. It's just oversaturated. I love the sax, but the trombone is just sexy. And I was blessed to be able to make it do something different that at the time nobody else was able to do.
And there's not a lot of mainstream trombonists out there. Off the top of my head, I can think of you, the other brother, Trombone Shorty, and Jeff Bradshaw. Yeah.
Really good friend of mine. Really good friend of mine. Great. Okay. Both of those guys, all those guys. Wyclef. I listen to Wyclef.
Okay.
Brian Culberson.
Yeah, Brian Culberson plays a little trombone. You're right.
Yeah, but I started, man, back in 86 is when I first went professional and started doing things out in the public eye and actually get paid in Philly to play for different venues and stuff like that. It was kept very quiet because, again, my father was a minister and kind of looked down on stuff like that.
Okay.
And so, but they made sure that I was able to get out there and go to some academies, and that's where I got most of my training from, academy.
So you have over 30 years of experience now as a professional musician, and in the jazz genre, you shared the stage with a multitude of big name artists like Boney James, Alex Bouillon, Kim Waters, Nick Coleon, Pieces of a Dream. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, man. How did all of that happen?
just connections, I think. And, you know, I'm bad about talking about myself, but I guess I have to give some of it credit to the skills or whatnot. I don't realize where I've been until I just reminisce and look back. But, you know, I've run into some great promoters that believed in bone jazz, the genre, great agents. It just helped me to be able to prosper to where I am today. Pieces of a Dream, those guys, Curtis, we all went to the same high school. We had the same band teacher in Philly, actually.
So you grew up in Philly. You grew up in the Philly area.
I was in Philly, and I came back south to Greenville for a little while, went to Greenville Tech, attended Greenville Technical College, and I moved back to Philly, and I was up there for another probably about 3 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've moved around a lot in my younger age.
Okay. All right. That's good stuff. And then to show your versatility, you've also performed with several big name gospel and R&B artists. You know, names like Helen Baylor, the Williams Brothers, the SOS Band, Jasmine Sullivan, Kevon Edmonds, Faith Evans. I mean, wow, man. You're the real deal.
Hey, man. All I can tell you is Yahweh is blessed, and I'm always giving credit to the Most High.
There you go.
You know, because things just happen. Sometimes you don't plan for them to. You're just in the right place at the right time. I truly believe that's what happened as far as my career. That's what started Bone Jazz. I just gained momentum, and it took off. I got a chance to meet all of those names and more just by being in the right place and them adoring the style of musical voicing, I like to call it, on the trombone.
Right.
That's the deal.
That's good stuff, man. And I follow you on Instagram, Buck, and you posted a performance that you did recently, and it caught my eye because it was at a cigar lounge, and that's my thing, man. That's my. Are you a brother of the Leaf as well?
I am not. Yeah.
Okay, I still like you. I still like you, Buck.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna tell you why. I was born with chronic asthma, and you know, I would have attacks without notice. It just happened, and it takes a lot of wind to play that instrument.
Right.
It takes a lot of energy to play that instrument. But I was determined, and I can remember just praying to be the artist that I am today at a younger age, in spite of asthma. So, you know, I do my treatment, but I try to take care of my lungs. Let's put it that way. I love what I do.
Right.
Love it.
Okay. That's good stuff, man. So I got to ask you this. The pandemic. Now, you know, I've talked to several artists here in the cafe who said that the pandemic has actually given them more time that they might not have had due to their schedules with touring and all of that kind of stuff to create. I'm guessing since you have this new album coming out that it might have been the same way for you as well?
Yes, it produced more time for me to concentrate on new original compositions. What we did is, man, I like I told you, when my father passed away due to COVID, it blew me away. My mind went crazy. I tell people I went crazy.
Yeah, man. I remember you posting that on Instagram, man. My condolences.
Thank you so much. But you know, I didn't hear music anymore. I went into a deep depression, and with the help of fans, man, they just started reaching out. Other musicians started reaching out. Hey, Buff, where are you? We want to see you. Once I started hearing the music again, I started writing and shared it with Michael Blanding. And we just came up with a really high album. I really believe it's going to do well.
Well, you know what? I agree with you, man, because we just played the title track to your new album, Born to Bone Jazz, and it is ultra smooth, brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So tell us a little bit more about the album. What can we expect? When is the release date?
Well, we don't have a tentative date yet. It's coming. We've been taking our time. This has been in the works for a year. It's not going to be like a huge album, 12 or 13 tracks or anything like that. It was supposed to be an EP, but it continues to grow. I think we're going to stop right at 7 songs.
Okay.
I think 7 is a good number. It's the number of completion.
Okay.
And so we're working on the last one now. So what we're doing is we're advertising and promoting that it'll be out this spring. We're going to put a date on it a little bit later. But this album was truly and absolutely encouraged by the transition of my dad and how I felt, what I went through. So every song has a significant meaning, from my grandkids to my parents, driven by straight up emotion and passion.
Wow, that's good stuff, man. Well, I know I'm expecting it to be ultra smooth like all the rest of your music, and we will definitely be playing it here in the cafe. Why don't you give everybody all of your social media outlets and your website?
So the website is www, of course, buffdillard.card, CARRD.co, buffdillard.card.co, C-O.
Okay.
And on all social media, it's Buff Mr. Bone Jazz Dillard.
Well, hey, Buff, we're so happy that you stopped by the cafe tonight. You will now be considered a friend of the show, and that means that you could come back at any time, and the doors of the Smooth Jazz Cafe are open to Buff Bone Jazz Dillard. How about that?
The pleasure's all mine, man. I really appreciate it. From the depths of my heart, brother, I appreciate it. You're doing a great thing, man, and I will keep you in our prayers that things continue to advance for you.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, man, and much success to you as well. And again, man, when you get that new project out, you hit me up and come back and talk to us about it.
Yes, sir. It's on the way.
All right, everybody, this is trombonist Buff Dillard. Buff, thanks a lot again, man, for stopping by the cafe. And look, man, don't be a stranger, okay?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Okay, man, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, peace and love.
Everybody, that was Buff Bone Jazz Dillard. And what a great guy he is. Everybody, go out and get some music from Buff Dillard on the trombone. Very smooth in the cafe tonight.